Velocity, money, peace, and blessings. All right, so getting into the third house, third lord, and astrology. Pretty much want to be as straightforward as I possibly can with these videos. I know I can kind of get long with it at times, which is not the point right now. But yeah, third lord, third house, and astrology. How do you see or perceive, the functions of the third house and the third lord? How do you notice it, make your own analysis, you feel me, and figure out how to remedy or, apply pressure to those particular entities within your chart or within anybody else's chart, right? So get into it, right? Third house, third lord. It's a lot of different words that people attach to the third house, you know what I'm saying? And, a good number of them are valid, but it's an underlying formula, you know what I'm saying, or underlying signature uh, that's placed within the third house. And we can get into that, right? So the different words or the natural tags that are attached to the third house are, siblings, friends, short distance travel, you know what I'm saying? Hobbies, communication, writing. I've seen somebody say it's the subconscious mind, which is actually interesting. But I can actually see that, you feel me? Because third house is kind of like it's kind of like automated repetitive actions, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of instincts rather, right? Instincts, the instinctual code of an individual, right? And your instincts, or you feel me, your automated actions by default are embedded and imprinted and have influence within the subconscious mind, right? You know what I'm saying? So you feel me, a certain set of actions or a certain set of reactions in your walking reality can even lead to a certain manifestation within a dream space and whatnot, right? So the third, it does have an interesting link to the subconscious mind. It really does. Uh, but yeah, I've seen people say third house represents, uh, lust or sexual engagement or enjoyment, which is true as well. You feel me? Third house, it shows the lustfulness or the desire aspect of an individual to just want to engage in pleasure. Now, to kind of separate the third house from the other comma trichomes, right? So seventh house is the house of, relationship. You feel me? It's the house of quote unquote romance or reciprocation, marriage, you know what I'm saying, union and all that, right? So that's seventh house. So how does it get separated from the third house, right? So seventh house considers the partner and pleasing the partner as well, right? You feel me? The seventh house conforms, it submits, it sacrifices to a certain degree in order to make sure that the other party has their back scratched so the other party can scratch our back. It's like a mutual exchange within the seventh or whatever, right? It's business to a certain extent in the seventh house. But the third house is like it really represents gaming. Like, in one aspect, because it's like when you gaming with your friend or when you gaming with your homie or something, y'all both are playing for fun, but you're not really playing to bring fun to the other person. You're doing it because it's more so fun to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if that, like, you know what I'm saying, whether you playing chess, or some competitive sport, whether you boxing or you feel me, you fucking playing Fortnite or whatever, you know what I'm saying, whatever type of game, hobby, activity that you might happen to be doing with a friend or something. The psychology is you're more so doing that because it brings happiness or enjoyment to yourself. It satisfies self desire. It's not really a thing of let me, you know what I'm saying, let me put the shit that I really want to do to the side and let me please, you know what I'm saying, the homie, which is a crazy statement. That's fucking insane to say. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I hope niggas understand that. Like, it's third house is raw self enjoyment that you can share with your friends. You know what I'm saying? And it's sex because you feel me. It's that raw carnal passion. You feel me? That you know what I'm saying? One night stand type of engagement. It don't always have to be one night stand, but it's just fucking. Like, you know, it's fucking, and it's not necessarily worried about um any of the self-conscious aspects or, you know, performative actions. Like, it's just raw desire, passion, and self-expression and enjoyment within that, right? So that's third house desire and how it gets separated from the seventh, and how it gets separated from the 11th. The 11th is focused on the collective. It's focused on, you know what I'm saying, the organization. It's focused on, you feel me, the elder brother or the figures that you look up to. And the 11th, it has a broader focus, and you know, of a broader group of individuals are attached to the meeting the higher desires of the left of the 11th house, right? But the third, it's kind of more trivial. It's kind of more instinctual. It's kind of more, you know what I'm saying, of a lower self thing, you know, carnality, you know, yada, 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 etc., etc. Third house is the natural house of Gemini, you know, which is opposite Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is, you feel me, the man beast who's trying to go beyond his instinctual nature, who's trying to go beyond, you feel me, his lower self, or you feel me, his more carnal, animalistic self and whatnot, right? And Gemini is, you feel me, the opposite, which is pretty much like Tantra, or he's trying to explore, you feel me, the different, you feel me, cravings, or you know, the desires, and you know, yada yada yada, etc., etc. He's trying to consciously observe, explore, and investigate. And you know, those are other attributes of the third house as well: exploration, self investigation. You know what I'm saying? Self experimentation. You know, and that's what I should start doing: bringing other houses to show y'all how one house is different from the other. So the ninth house, the natural house of Sagittarius, this is about taking a course, going to university, sitting under guru, you know, traveling to foreign places, and you know, exploring foreign landscapes, and coming across different cultures, and being taken outside of your environment or whatever. Pretty much long travels and long pilgrimages and long journeys to gain a specialized knowledge. But third house is about self experimentation. You like computers, you feel me? It's maybe just start playing with computers. Exactly. Just start experimenting. You feel me? Just start looking through, you feel me, different compartments of your computer. Take your computer apart, put it back together yourself, or you know what I'm saying, get addicted to Minecraft, and you know what I'm saying, figure out different scripts that you can use to hack your Minecraft character and do a whole bunch of bullshit and create universes or whatever the fuck. It's like third house is like interest, natural carnal interest. Doesn't always have to be evil thing because the word carnal is attached to it, right? It's just like a natural inquisitive interest and enjoyment. You feel me? Like, to take the third house relationship to the fourth house, right? Fourth, you know, it represents like peace, love to a certain degree. You know what I'm saying? Like, in a self love, self peace, you know, intimacy, emotional nourishment, and whatever. Third is, I guess you could say, is like the more masculine engagement, like outside of those softer feelings. Third is like, you know what I'm saying? Ooh, that game looks fun. Ooh, uh, you know what I'm saying? She got her throat. I would like to explore that. or ooh, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? That motorcycle is cool, or you know what I'm saying, that type of car, like, I would like to learn how to build that, or you feel me, it's just like a childlike enjoyment that can be applied to anything, right? Whether it's quote unquote dark, or evil, or just carnal, or whether it's the lighter things and the lighter sides of life too. You feel me? All in all, it's just like that childlike thing, that energetic interest of curiosity that makes an individual pursue something on their own. Nobody has to tell them to do it. Like, third house is attention, right? Whatever the third house is that, you feel me, third lord, it'll shows where your attention is automatically redirected towards, you feel me, or where your attention automatically gravitates towards, right? It shows that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's just naturally in you. Some people naturally like gravitate towards basketball. You feel me? They watch all the games, they keep up with all the seasons. You feel me? All the motherfucking players on each team, all the rosters and shit, and the playing cards, and the fantasy side of the shit, and the sports betting and whatever, right? Some people, it's not it ain't necessarily like they getting paid for it, or they might be getting paid for it, but regardless, paid or not, they're engaged in it. They're hands on with this shit. They're buying the jerseys. They're going to the different basketball games, right? They knocking out motherfuckers in the parking lot for calling LeBron a bitch for going to the Philadelphia 76ers or whatever the fuck, right? Like, they're engaged in it. They're passionate about it. They're action oriented about pursuing basketball knowledge and experience, right? It's some people that's you feel me, that's the same way about Call of Duty, or the same way about motherfucking GTA 6, or you know what I'm saying, GTA, or motherfucking loving hip hop, or whatever, right? Like, different things, you feel me? Hockey, you know what I'm saying, martial arts or whatever, right? It's skateboarding. There's many different avenues of enjoyment that an individual can get caught up within, or whatnot, right? But third is just going to show where the attention naturally gets drawn, because the individual has a childlike interest and curiosity within that particular area. You gotta think of the power of a child's curiosity. You know what I'm saying? Like, these new kids, especially, you feel me, they can damn near do anything on a fucking tablet, or a phone, you know what I'm saying, or a game system, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Be modding their characters and all type of shit. Or baby 2 and 3 years old, you feel me, baby can't even speak, baby 4 years old or something like that, and can't even speak, can't even wipe their ass properly, but you feel me, like like opening multi windows at the same time, and you know what I'm saying, like doing a whole bunch of shit on their own tablets and their mama phones, and you feel me, purchasing V-Bucks and all this extra shit. It's like, it's because when you really interested in something, that dials the attention to a certain degree, where a person is just able to rapidly and readily absorb the ability to navigate through those pathways, or the ability to excel in that particular thing, wherever it is, right? You know what I'm saying? When you're naturally like something, and when you naturally invested into something, you know what I'm saying? Structure is not necessarily required. It's like everything just collapses in its own sort of natural algorithm, if that makes sense. Uh, and this is why third house is like, it's one of the houses which can make an individual real successful, right? I'm saying third house is the house of creativity. It's one house of creativity, right? It's a house of non-professionalism. You know, it's just like, it's trivial. It can be childish. It can be raggedy in a certain way, or it can be something that's rigged, or you feel me, it can be be something that's not necessarily industry standard, quote unquote. But everything that works, or everything that can be monetized, or everything that gravitate people isn't necessarily corporate or industry standard, or LinkedIn approved, or whatever the fuck, right? Like, we got streamers, you know what I'm saying? You got motherfuckers that's just bullshitting on camera in front of millions of motherfucking kids all around the world, millions and billions of kids, or whatever the fuck, right? You got motherfuckers that's just bullshitting, just doing stupid ass activities, and they're making millions of dollars a year. You know what I'm saying? $40 million, getting $40 million, $50 million, $10 million, however, multi-million-dollar contracts through these different platforms like Kick or Twitch or whatever the fuck, right? And they're literally fucking doing nothing. It's literally such a unstructured you know what I'm saying? It's just like a unstructured thing. Like, there's no real science behind it. It's no real, compiling of any data structure, or you feel me, any plot, any real sitting down, different writers and developers getting together, sitting down and writing a certain script for certain entities to play, to make a professionalized show shot with, you feel me, the most advanced camera available to the industry. Like, it's none of that. It's just motherfuckers who just laughing, talking, giggling, gaming, having fun, and making money off of that shit, streaming, Our third house is kind of like that, you know what I'm saying? And again, it can represent the lust aspect too, because a lot of people, everybody who has a heartbeat, you know what I'm saying, and who has some meat, or who has a hole, you feel me, and who has a good set of hormones, right? Everybody is attracted to, you feel me, engaging in sexual activity, right? You know what I'm saying? It's just something that's embedded within the human being body and psyche and whatnot, right? And that side of the third house, you know what I'm saying? It can show the more lustful expressions that are detached from labels, or that might kind of be like outside of the norm, can kind of step outside of the norm, can lead into, you know what I'm saying, lesbianism or poly relationships, or you feel me, just fucking different bitches, or you know what I'm saying, kind of being like on the hunt. Third house, it has a hunt type of aspect to it too, right? It's a upachaya house. It's constantly sharpening. It's constantly getting better. It's constantly collecting data. It's constantly, refining its output of action. You feel me? Refining its internal wiring, if that makes sense or whatnot, right? What else? And third house, it has a I guess a certain specialty to it. You feel me? A certain specialness about it and whatnot, right? So third is the Bavam of two houses. It's second from the second house, and it's eighth from the eighth house. So both qualities of the second and the eighth house can be seen within the third, right? So, third house, it's an intellectual house. I forgot to mention that. I don't know if I mentioned that. Probably did, right? But anyway, second from the second, right? Second house represents security, comfortability. You know what I'm saying? The material pleasures of life that add to the comfortability of your body, your identity, and your life experience. You feel me? Via, you know what I'm saying? Your income. You feel me? Your food taste. You know what I'm saying? Different things of that nature, whatever. Right? So let's just use security as like a baseline word, right? And the way that third house reflects the security, because it represents skill sets, like integrated skill sets and specialties, things that you are able to do with the power of your own hands or whatnot, right? You know what I'm saying? Skill sets, things you're able to do well. You make it look easy, you know what I'm saying? And you're able to rapidly replicate or do this particular thing, and intelligently offer it as a service of some sort to another. Because it's like, when it comes to security, right? If based off of certain skills that you have, you can sometimes be placed anywhere in the world. And if you maybe say, let's say, if you're a mechanic, right? You know what I'm saying? If you're from fucking New York, but somehow some East Side niggas come find you and beat you up, throw you in the trunk, drop you off in Montana or something like that, right? You know what I'm saying? It's a foreign environment, and you get around Montana niggas and they beat you up and they drop you off. I don't know why they beat you up. They just whooped your ass or whatnot, but they might take you to, I don't know, fucking Arizona or something, right? So now you in a totally foreign environment. You got your ass whooped twice. You feel me? There's no security. You really don't know anybody in the surrounding environment. You feel me? You're at ground zero and you pretty much have to make a way. Well, with the skill set of being a mechanic, with a good degree of self-work, you can put yourself out there. With third house, it deals with marketing and sales as well. It deals with putting yourself out and, you know what I'm saying, kind of like marketing or showing the skill of your identity and why a person should invest or, you know, engage with you, right? But anyway, right? Being placed in this foreign environment with no money, you know what I'm saying, no contact or anything like that, you still can position yourself to make a good deal, a great deal of income if you're able to pretty much go to a couple different mechanic shops and say, hey, you know what I'm saying, I got my ass, ass got whooped twice by different sets of niggas. I'm in a foreign environment, you feel me? Don't no shelter, no food, but I am a great mechanic. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing mechanic work for 20 plus years. I've worked on pretty much every vehicle that's known to the market. Older vehicles, newer models. You know what I'm saying? Computerized, systems, and all of that. You feel me? I'm very well equipped in the arena of my skill set, and you know what I'm saying? I got the hands-on, expertise. I can show you some shit right now. You feel me? Like if you have those skills, it'll be pretty difficult for you not to be able to survive anywhere that you go. You know what I'm saying? Like if you can speak English and Mandarin and Arabic or whatever, and you happen to for some reason end up in China, around a bunch of Chinese little students or whatever that don't know how to speak English, and maybe you're in a community and the parents or the state or the government board or whatever the fuck, right? They're hiring people with a skill set in English, right? You can apply to that, and you can be more likely to get accepted into that role and position if you ain't had shit going for yourself in China, just based off of your skill set of knowing how to speak English and Spanish. You know what I'm saying? And I guess if they would be looking for more of an Arabic integration or doing some negotiations with the Arabic countries and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Like relationships with China and Iran, you feel me? You can step in and you can be like a middleman. Third house is middleman, right? You can be like a negotiator. You know what I'm saying? You can relay communications, right? Third house is a house of communication. So third house, it comes with embedded skill sets. You know what I'm saying? Things that you have an experiential knowledge of, things that you have an experiential expertise of or whatnot, right? That are so ingrained, you can pretty much be placed anywhere and you can make a way for yourself to survive. It just will take effort, right? And why will it take effort? It's because third is eighth from the eighth. Eighth house is one of the more unstable houses, right? Unstable houses. It's one of the more unpredictable houses. It's one of the houses where, an individual could feel like, they're on the precipice of death potentially, or loss, or great loss. Eighth is the dark side of the mind. Eighth is, the demons, the goblins, the boogeyman that's under your bed, the parasites, the need to detox, the deep knowledge, the occult research, You feel me? The dark night of the soul, the purging of, all the gunk that's sitting within the individual, right? Eighth is the great humbling, right? Third, eighth requires a great deal of, efforts and of a letting go too in order to survive the eighth. And third requires a great deal of effort as well. You know what I'm saying? A highly active third house, it'll often put individuals in a situation to where they gotta take massive risk. You know what I'm saying? Where they're pushed or where they're in a corner or where they feel like they're in a situation that's about to collapse, or you feel me? They have to do a lot of work, have to exert a lot of self effort. You know what I'm saying? It's third house even when Gemini's in the chart. You know what I'm saying? When Gemini's highly active, this is just a house to where an individual has to take risk, can often get confronted with scenarios that might feel like the eighth house, or might feel like, this is unstable. This is threatening, the condition or whatnot. And you know, commonality or the similarity about third and the eighth, there's no guidance in the eighth, there's no guru in the eighth, and there is no guidance and guru in the third. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty much something that you got to get out the mud. You just got to figure it out on your own or whatnot, right? And yeah, in the third house, it's like the baby seeing the glowing object, putting his hand on the stove and getting burnt, you know. So the burn, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of the tragedy or the trauma or, some of the bad karmas that can arise from the eighth house, some of that can arise in the third house too. You know what I'm saying? Like you just making a mistake or you doing something and a error might pop out and pop you in your ass or whatnot. Some shit like that, right? Nah, I'm chill out. But so get into the nature of third lord, right? So what exactly will an individual's attention be dialed to, right? Based off of their third lord, right? So let's try to do some celebrities. All right, so Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson, I believe he's Aquarius ascendant. Mars is in third house. Mars is the third lord, right? A lot of people don't know. Michael Jackson actually was in the martial arts. You know what I'm saying? Michael Jackson actually was a fighter. You feel me? Skill too. I heard Michael Jackson actually whooped Tupac ass. You know what I'm saying? Which is some funny shit. But yeah, Michael Jackson actually had, the third house Martian aspect heavily activated with him. You know what I'm saying? And he had K2 in the third house. He had K2 and Mars in the third house, with Mars being the third lord in his own position. And that wasn't necessarily what he was known for. I'm pretty sure a lot of people ain't know Michael Jackson was a martial artist and whatnot. But you feel me? That's definitely something that he was a part of. It was just an interest of his, something that he engaged in. And Michael Jackson kind of had like a Martian mentality in certain aspects, like how motherfucking who was it? Was it Slim Shady or the fucking Beatles or some shit? Or it might have been both of them niggas or whatever, right? Like niggas disrespected him and he just get to buying niggas catalogs and shit. Like like that's acquisition. That's some Martian behavior. Like, it's just like some type of way to like dominate and, to get over on motherfuckers or whatnot, right? So that's an interesting way that, that third expression was active in Michael Jackson's life, right? Yeah. Who else? I don't know. Michael Jordan, Ascended Time. Let me leave the Michaels alone. Let's see. Shit. I forget Will Smith moon sign. It's not Gemini. Dave Chappelle. He's a Virgo ascendant. Third lord is Motherfucking Mars. Where's his Mars at? I ain't gonna do Dave Chappelle because I don't know off the top of my head. I gotta get a list of celebrities I can do. But anyway, let me just do the generalized predictions or whatnot, right? So third house, third lords rather, right? So third lord, just random scenarios. I'm not gonna go through every single scenario, but just random scenarios, right? So third lord as let's say the sun, right? Third lord is the sun. Let's say the sun is in the third house, right? You know what I'm saying? This will be a person that easily will find themselves like pursuing, engaging, maybe even climbing up into positions that kind of demand a certain sense of respect or integrity, right? If it's a Gemini ascendant, Sun is in the third, you know, Mercury is the ascendant lord. So Mercury could either be with the Sun in the third as well. Mercury could be exalted in the fourth, or Mercury could be in the second of Cancer, right? The best positions would really be Mercury in the third, right? Mercury's in the third with the sun. This will bring a lot of reputation, a lot of success, a lot of different skill set. You know what I'm saying? It'll bring a lot of reputation, a lot of success, a lot of different skill set, a lot of respect, uh, a lot of those types of dynamics naturally. And a person could definitely find themselves uh, potentially maybe in the field dealing with law or something. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe law is just what they might find themselves, knowing, like contract negotiations, you feel me? Statesmanship, because it's Leo. Leo deals with like statesmanship, delegation of authority. It deals with law in theory, not necessarily in practice or in litigation. You know what I'm saying? Like Leo deals with kind of like earthly dharma. You know what I'm saying? Uh, tribal, systems and what else? You know what I'm saying? Your forms of identification and whether you're a ward of state or whether you're a sovereign, individual and with a low to your title and all this woke nigga ownership shit or whatever the fuck, right? Like, with Sun in the third with that particular Mercury as well, it'll lessen the ego because when Sun comes with Mercury, it's like an individual is less apt to express the ego from the high and mighty type of aspect, right? When Sun comes with Mercury in a position, it could kind of make a motherfucker that's funny. You know what I'm saying? That's a little more down to earth. They demand the respect, but it's not something that's, you know, as kingly as Sun by itself. You know what I'm saying? It's like the king with the jester. Mercury the jester, Sun is the king. When the funny niggas around, the king is more relaxed. You know what I'm saying? The king is less about stepping on niggas' necks and shit like that. If that makes sense. But yeah, I know I'm babbling right now. So yeah, a different one. Moon as third lord. Moon is third lord. That means it's a Taurus ascendant. Let's say Moon is exalted in the ascendant. Third lord exalted in the ascendant. This is Lord Krishna. So how did this play out, right? Third lord being the moon. The person is not really one that's. The person is how would this play out in Lord Krishna's chart? Third lord in the ascendant exalted. I think Sadhguru might got this as well. But yeah, third lord exalted in the ascendant. It can make a person very much so attractive and popular amongst their level of peers. So maybe the class that you grew up with, you feel me? Your childhood homies, and not even just your childhood homies, but the childhood class, your friend circle, social peer group, or whatever. growing up through school, and it can make a person very much popular, very much magnetic, very much attractive in those types of senses. But it can also make a person maybe appear more feminine, maybe appear more gentle, maybe appear more moon-like, due to moon being a third lord and moon coming into the ascendant. You know what I'm saying? And third lord being exalted in the ascendant can definitely give the person a very pleasing effect in regards to moon-like activities in the third house. So that would probably deal with like music. Moon is kind of like a musical, entity or whatnot. Things that deal with soothing and pleasing the mind or whatnot, right? And Krishna was definitely gifted at the flute. He was definitely a great dancer as well and whatnot. Krishna definitely was, hella attractive to all the ladies and shit. And Krishna, his depiction, he's often depicted as, more softer, and more, gentle, more sociable, more amicable, more friendly, and whatnot than most of the other characters. Even though he was, uh, the most powerful nigga in the Mahabharata and whatnot, right? So yeah, that's what Moon can do in a general sense. Uh, as an exalted third lord, but Moon as an exalted third lord, it can show somebody who really don't have to do too much, and they still get the effort, or they still get the motherfucking results of the third house. Because Moon is kind of soft. Moon is kind of, likes to be comfortable. It's kind of lazy. So, it ain't somebody who's going to be doing a whole bunch of effort or whatnot. Like doing a whole bunch of labor. But at the same time, they still going to be reaping result from the action. Because it's exalted in the ascendant. And it's the third lord. What else? Third lord as Mercury. Maybe in the sixth house, right? So third lord is Mercury, so this could either be Aries ascendant or Cancer ascendant, right? So third lord as Mercury, Aries ascendant, exalted in the sixth house. This is a very great positioning. This is intensely great because this is somebody, who pretty much who does the hard intelligent work, who does the most hard, most intelligent work. This is somebody who can easily translate to a field of, writing, editing, law, legality, litigation, you feel me, contractual business negotiation, and you feel me, getting in the courtroom and beating cases and shit like that. This is somebody who very much so naturally enjoys mercurial critical analysis archetypes, who naturally enjoy that. This is somebody who naturally enjoys, leveraging their resources, saving money, you feel me, getting rid of the excess, editing, getting manipulated and intelligently defeating the enemies with the least amount of work, you feel me, finding the quickest way and the most efficient path to success. Since his third lord, Mercury, as Aries ascendant, and it's placed in the sixth house of exaltation, this is somebody who is industriously engaged, pretty much with balance in the entirety of their life in a very intelligent and efficient manner from a cyclic perspective or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? This is somebody who can be expert in multiple disciplines easily. And they have a leverage, or they have a balanced personality. Not necessarily, a egotistical person or an emotional person or a person that gets out of character. This is somebody, since it's Virgo, they can be kind of, they're low key. They're not, as egotistically caring about displaying the fruits of their labor or being the top dog and beating everybody ass. This is somebody who, is very level headed and just extremely intelligent, and their ability to execute, you know, the shit they do is exceptional. You know what I'm saying? Like exalted Mercury, especially in the sixth house, is just the niggas who are extremely detail oriented and able to perform the most sophisticated operations with the ease of intellect. Like it just flows smoothly. You know what I'm saying? Like all the paperwork niggas who get through the paperwork and know all the different clauses for woke nigga shit or whatever y'all want to call it. Like it's them types of niggas for sure. You know what I'm saying? But it can even be somebody who's in the medical practice, who's in the herbs or whatnot. You feel me? Who's in the gene editing or studying shit like gene editing, or you feel me? It's not necessarily going to translate to a specific field. It's just the mentality of critical analysis, editing, rearranging complex things in an efficient manner. That can apply to a wide array, a wide range of, what I'm saying, practices and careers or whatever. And to be honest, third lord exalted in the sixth house, it doesn't mean that somebody will actually do that particular thing for a career. Most likely they will, you feel me? Because it'll just shine too excellently. But, more than anything, third represents the natural interest. So it's going to show that, you feel me, this could have been something this person was doing since a very young age. You know what I'm saying? And if it's third Lord Mercury in, let's say, the sixth house of Sagittarius, right? This can be a person who's naturally interested in, the study of different religions or different scriptures or, different philosophical lines of thought. You feel me? Fist conjunct. This can be somebody who's naturally gifted in writing too, naturally gifted in passionate expression or display of their intellect. Because Sagittarius kind of has like a passionate element as well to them, like kind of like a heavenly type of passion, like bringing the earthly and uplifting it to like a divine realm, or like showcasing it as in a divine archetype of some sort, right? You know what I'm saying? Like Mercury and Sagittarius pretty much has that communication or that ability to refine and to uplift something into a more higher nature when it's in Sagittarius in the sixth house, if that makes sense. So that could be music, that could be with producing, that could be with singing, that could be with a number of different things as well, right? They could be in the studies, the different studies, exploring the universe through the lens of duality and whatnot. There's many different possibilities, right? And it's many different combinations. It's many different ways third lord will express itself. Venus as third lord may be more engaged into, Venusian activities. So maybe relationships, sexual engagement, beauty products, or beautifying the body. You feel me? Bringing more to the appearance, more to the taste, the sensual capacity, and all those different things. What else? I just showed Michael Jackson as the third lord, like, with Mars, and Mars, having that fighter ability, that combat ability, the ability to control strength, be taking others' resources or gaining power over others, or being in the military and, protecting others as well, being like a policeman or some sort, right? What else? Jupiter is third lord, right? Jupiter's third lord can be more, or Jupiter in third house can be more situated towards spiritual pursuit, right? Can kind of be not, can kind of, some people say cowardly, when Jupiter is in third house, like, it doesn't really want to fight, or it doesn't really want to get into the carnal aspects of the third house, right? But Jupiter in the third, it can make a person who has a serious interest for, exploration of spiritual topics and, aspects, and you feel me, to really carry themselves as the guru or whatever you want to call it. But if I have any more things that come to my line of thought, I'll post it in the comments. But last morning.